friend, it's Tackle It Tuesday. All right, so first of all, I have some new things from my merchandise store. Kate Spain designed some new stuff. A couple of these work in progress, which are so cute. And then look at the back. Look, she put all the kind of fun words. And then inside, these are how they're set up. They're spiral. They just have a little light dot. Maybe you can see it. You can probably see it online too at the link. But let me show you the other styles, because all I got so far was this. These are all print on demand, and they print them in many different places around the world, so that if you are international, it is printed closest to your location, and so that helps with shipping and other costs. So let me just show you what's new. At Kate's store, Katie Spain, she's a designer that does my t-shirts, you know, bag, mugs, notebooks. So we have some new things, work in progress. You can get it on t-shirts, a notebook. She's got sweatshirts with hoods, without hoods. And then there's a second style of the work in progress. You can see it there. See the difference? This one's sort of the scrolly one, and it is to the side. And then we've got the more straightforward one, and everything comes, all the shirts and stuff have multiple colors. We'll just go through here. Some few styles have v-necks. This is a sweatshirt, and there's some great lavenders and a pink. It just depends on, you know, what you like. There's a teal. So, and then there's another, look, another, a barn star. Oh my gosh, one of these is coming to me, so it's not here yet, but I'll show you when it gets here. And then we have United We Quilt. Look at that. I am so excited. That one also has a v-neck version. And then from last year, we've got the fireworks right across the top, which I love that style. And then we have some zippy bags, some tote bags with the United We Quilt with the flag type image, you know, put in a flag. Also with our great tumblers. Look, then this is one of the other styles with the hearts and the star. So you still have some things on here. Then the spring ones with the tulips. So I'll just go through the rest since we're down here. The spring mouse pad. I just really love. So there's a print you can even get. And then the hexies, and I've worn that recently. I should get another hexie one. The heart. So here it is. And you can go on from the link that I showed you and pick up what speaks to you. I don't know, I might have to order another t-shirt as well. The Barn Star is coming, but, you know, girl just might need a few more things, like a work in progress. I hope you enjoy them. It is also Scavenger Hunt Day for the month. And if you're new to watching my channel or haven't watched very often, once a month, and I've been doing this for years, it is fun to do what I call a scavenger hunt, which is basically I'm going to give you a topic or a thing, usually a thing, and it's a sewing thing, and you will go and share a photo of it at Facebook at Quilts Along with Pat Sloan. Or you can just tell me about it here in the comments at YouTube. But as you know, YouTube doesn't allow us to insert any pictures with our comments. So you can just talk about it here if you want, and without a photo. So this month, I asked the ambassadors, my friends who help me out. That's what I call them. They're my friends. They help me out with things because there's lots of you and only one of me. And so they help answer questions and, you know, approve posts and things like that. And so I asked, you know, what were some scavenger hunt ideas? So for the rest of the year, all of them are ones that they suggested. And this first one came from Suzanne, but is also a huge love of Bobby. So if you are hanging around with us and you know that Bobby loves a clapper. She is the queen of clappers. And what is a clapper? These are these weighted, usually wooden items that you use to press your seams, and they're super, super awesome. Now, what do I have? Let me show you, because, you know, a girl needs more than one. A quilter, not just a girl, but a quilter. A quilter needs more than one clapper. So I have, this was a gift from my friend Melissa. Her husband made this one for me, and it's awesome because it's big and it's got like the handhold. This was also sent to me as a gift. Isn't that gorgeous? Then I have like a basic one here. I guess it had I think that was a price tag. I hate when that does that, right? It like messes it up. And then these Riley Blake ones are really good. I think Bobby told me about this one, where it has a little bit of felt, or yes, felt, like on this wooden top. Then you can take a block and lay it here and press a seam along here if you want to, and then also use it as a clapper. And then these weighted ones are from Modern Vintage, Modern American Vintage. Yeah, Modern American Vintage. And the fellow that created these, he puts weights inside of them, so they're super, super heavy, which is kind of cool. And he also does an enormous variety, often with beautiful quilt blocks in here. He also does other wooden tools. He's a wood turner. And so I've give you a link down there, and a link to where you can get a few others at the Fat Quarter Shop, including this one. So today, show your collection of clappers, if you have a collection like mine. This is there you go. Because you often need more than one. It's just the way of life. All right, since it's Tackle It Tuesday, the other day I have a the older Halloween project that I'm working on, and I had to find it to go to my local sewing, and I couldn't find it, whatever. So I thought I would just share with you those blocks, because I'm not sure that I actually put a photo of them up yet, but I did a little video. I got ready to go sew with my local friends the other day, and I started looking for that hand blanket stitched Halloween project that I do sometimes when I go there, and I have been working on it for years and years and years. I don't know, I think I may have started it 8 years ago now, maybe 9 years ago, something like that. I could not find the project bag. I knew it was in a project bag. I knew I have a bigger bag that is the stuff I take just there, that, you know, I don't use anywhere else, and it should have been in there. It wasn't in there, so I went all through here looking. It was crazy. I'm like, where could I have put that? Even looked in a couple places that I'm like, I don't normally put working projects I'm using, like, you know, working on. I was going nuts, and then all of a sudden I went to write my friends, I can't find that bag. And as I was writing it, it popped in my head the little polka dot rolling case that I put the Duchess, the sewing machine in. She's over there. There's the Duchess. See her? When I take the featherweight, which I wasn't going to take the featherweight, but when I do, I use the pink, the polka dot rolling case. And I thought, maybe I left it in there. Ta-da, I left it in there. Crazy. So what I wanted to show you, I thought I'd put the blocks up on the wall so that you could see what I have so far. Because I realized, well, I didn't realize, but a couple of different times when I was chatting with my buddies, and I took them the one time and I laid all these out. This is from the Vintage Spool, Verna's pattern. I will not be doing the skeleton because I just want to finish it up. I don't want to take the time to do the skeleton now. And it also makes it a little bit smaller, which is also attractive to me. So I'm eliminating that, which means I have to do kind of my own layout. When she did this, there's no sashing. You can see there's no sashing, and I'm going to try to simulate that the best I can. Well, I've laid these blocks out a couple of times, and I don't have, the one thing that I don't have is the house. I didn't fuse the house. I didn't make the house yet. So see the house, and every time I put them up and look at them, I think, oh, I need the house. You know, I really should have the house. So like I have the ghost. This is the vertical ghost, which there is, yeah, it's bigger than I need, but he's not stitched yet. They're all hand blanket stitched because I would take them and do them without we couldn't take a sewing machine where we used to meet years ago. So now most of them are all done by hand. This one's almost finished, and then the rest are all finished. So I've got the ghost, there, the boot with all the candy in it. So cute. And these are all my fabrics that I picked from what I have and, you know, collected up. Mostly just picked from what I had and made the backgrounds. So they're like, I know sometimes different shops have made kits of this over the many years this pattern has been available, but I did my own. There's a bat, Betty the Bat. So, and this is my favorite, the moon with the face is my absolute favorite. Another bat, the halfway bat. the candelabra, which I also love, the owl and the cat, and the jack-o'-lantern. Look how happy he is. And then the friendly witch. She doesn't look too friendly, but she is. She's a friendly witch. So I did not do the haunted house, but I think I need the haunted house. And so what I'm going to do, I thought, is just for fun, I'll go ahead and put these up on the design wall. Since the wall is blank at this very moment in time, it's a nice way I can put them up. I can take a picture. And I don't know if I had the picture that I did last time when I was with my friends. It was several months ago too that I did that one, like maybe 4 or 5 months ago. So I don't remember if I saved the picture, but if I did, I'll show you that one. But what I'm going to do is kind of use this diagram here and pull everything together without the skeleton and leave a spot for the house. Now, what I did when we sewed the other day is trace the house. And I decided to trace it so that it will actually have the tree on the other side because I didn't reverse the image. Verna does, I think she does needle term applique, so these are all, they all need any directional fabrics for fusible applique need reverse, but I didn't reverse the house. It's pretty symmetrical except for the tree, so I will just have the tree on the other side, and then of course the windows, there's different windows, they'll be on the opposite side, but which it doesn't affect the design any to do that. Okay, let me get them all up there and we'll look at the other camera. Ooh. Here is a way it could work out. Mine will need sashings, but this would be where the house is. There's a wide part of the house and then there's the tower that sticks up. So you can see here, the wide part of the house, and then the center tower is taller on that block. And there's also another bat with the wings out, which I don't have. I have the one sideways and the one up, but I'm thinking the wings, the bat with the wings out could go there, and then I'll need to separate things a little bit. You know, probably put a sashing in, you know, a couple places. There'll be, if I put that bat there with the wings out, he's probably going to take up that space. I could even possibly piece this whole section and then applique the bat afterwards so that the wings go up onto this piece and then maybe over touch the top of the, well, I could have a sashing in here so that it goes across, but that it could come up to the corner of, you know, could tilt it a little bit so it could come up to the corner on that guy. But then that whole thing would just be sewn first. But I think this is cool. I think this could work. What I have to do is make that a section here for the house so that the house would be, you know, I could sew the house with some sashing on either side of the turret or the center tower, because here, you know, this is a pieced across. You know, these three were pieced as one. So I won't have that kind of sitting in effect, which is okay. I'm all right with that. Maybe I'll find some interesting, I'll just, you know, find something interesting. But I think that layout is kind of it. It works, you know, I just sort of did it just now. But, you know, the pieces are what they are. There's a lot of verticals and a few horizontals and just a couple of squares. And so I'm kind of limited. I don't want I don't want 3 bats across here. So, but I do like the balance of the darks with the orange, and then that probably won't be orange. It might be a light gray or something like that because I already got tan. So it could maybe be a light gray, something, you know, in that kind of family down there. You know, maybe I'll separate those two with a with a dark, so you get like a little change between these two lights. So I think that's good. I think that's good because the candelabra is wide. So, you know, I've got an issue with that being wide. It needs to, you know, there aren't too many other options with the verticals. Okay, so there you go. So you get a little feel for where I'm going to go with it. I'm going to take a picture and create a folder. Probably this will be a 2026 project for me. I may actually start, you know, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows if I'll do some more of the applique, the blanket stitch. But, you know, over the summer, I might get to that. So that is where they are. I have to do the house. That's definitely a must do for me, is the house, because it just really looks good. It looks good in the mix, and it gives it kind of a great size. Now the house is not that far along. I did trace all the things. So I've got it all traced, but on the fusible. But I have, and I think I had background cut because I'd cut it in the beginning. I cut all the backgrounds to begin with so that I knew what colors I wanted, and I kind of put them up. So now I have to pick fabric for it, and I haven't done that yet. But it's moving, that's moving along, which is kind of cool, and kind of wraps into what we talked about last week on kind of that zen of our older projects, where this is one that's been around a very long time because I only worked on it whenever I took it on a trip with me and did hand blanket stitching. So that didn't happen where I actually got very much done at any time on it. It's not, so it's been slow. But I think next year it would be a good goal to have that done, because it's so far along. There's now like very little left to do. Okay, what else do I have? I think I may have gotten a quilt back from the quilter. Let me get that one. It's over here. London Town is back from the quilter. Okay, here, I'll show you the back. I will then, but first let's look at the front. Ta-da! Let's see, I've got to go like this, right? Can you see? Ta-da, ta-da! I am so excited. It is super, super cool. And I've already done some close-up video of the back for you, but I'll do it this way, and then we'll watch the video here in a second. Look. And it also shows you the quilting. I did a geometric on here. My friend Karen is really good with picking geometrics. And there I think you can see. And I think you can see on the video. So let's take a look at that. Here is the back of the Liberty of London quilt, the London Town quilt. So look how fun this is. You can see the quilting on the back, how good that looks, that geometric. And I'm just so excited to have this piece back here. How fun is that? And at the top, I'm using the piece that was, over here because being on the long arm. So it had all of the crowns, but I've got the crowns here, so it was a repeat. And there's enough of it here, I think, that'll make a really cute, it'll be really cute to have. I mean, who's going to look at the back? Not me, probably ever. But there you go. So that one is getting ready for binding. Let's see if we have binding made. I think I do. In my binding basket, yes, look at here. The London Town sampler. This is what the designer sent me, was this little patch, which is so cute. And I have the binding made and wrapped on here. Plus, Donna in the UK stitched this for me for the coronation. And I think I am going to maybe put a little border on it and then use it. Let's look over here on the back. I think I would sew it up here on the not on the picture, but sew it up on the crowns. I think that will be just perfect. So just put a little cotton around it so that I have it, so I can tuck it under. Like a little border that'll get, a 1/4 inch under, or I just might do it like a pillow so it has a good edge on it to stitch it down. This is like a felt. So she did this like on a felt. So I don't really want to turn the felt under. I will do fabric around it. So I'm ready to go. This is a very exciting one. I just have so many great memories from living in Europe and in the couple of trips that I managed to go to London. Very, very cool. I can't remember. Probably when we were making these, I talked all about that. Like going for a prom dress and going for my 16th birthday to London to see a play. Courtesy of my dad. Okay, other couple things I've got is, what's the status of my mini charm? This is my kind of side project to do as I'm sewing other things. And sometimes that gets me forward a little bit. Sometimes it's slow. But I have all but one, and the last one I only have to do the two. I have the 3 rows done. I just have to do the seams. Then I have to do all the sew and flip corners. So I've got them, some of the part, groups into blocks, because I'm just doing this size to go on my table. So that's the only size that I'm doing. But there we go. Ta-da! I think I'm pretty good with that. Plus, I have started working again on the Christmas kitty. This is the one my friend Wendy and I are doing. If I have this done by Christmas, I will be shocked, but I might. You never know. So I'm stitching away, stitching a little bit, but this is the one I had to get out. I told you that the other day. Like, it needs to be out or I don't stitch on it. Remember, I still want to do this little queen bee. One of our friends showed in the fireside chat, which is the community just here for YouTube at Facebook, because we talk about things other than quilts in there. You can talk about quilts, but you talk about other things you're doing, like your cross stitch or your knitting or crochet or your gardening or cooking. So it's a variety of topics, and that's in the fireside chat. But somebody finished this and shared it, and it was beautiful. So I still would like to, I think I'd like to do a bit more on the kitty, and then I'll switch over and do the bee, because it'll be I think a fairly quick stitch since it's small. That's so she says, right? So she says. All right, my friend, on Tackle It Tuesday. Let me hear what you plan to work on this week. If you have something you're trying to move forward, if you've got something that you just will be able to finish up, or maybe you're going to start something that's you've been procrastinating starting it. That's a great Tackle It Tuesday as well. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.